coffee? Can we see it? Can we feel it? Can we smell it? The answer to those questions is yes. Welcome back to another edition of Zachary Makes Something with Coffee and Pretends to Know What He's Talking About. At the risk of being too trendy, I am making Dalgona coffee. But I am going to make it better than all the places you've seen it made before. Hopefully. But first, I'm going to make it the original way with instant coffee, just to see what we're working with here. So into a bowl I put equal parts instant coffee, sugar, and hot water. Then you whisk it till you can't whisk it anymore and it's all frothy and thick. To serve, pour your favorite milk over some ice in a glass, put a generous dollop of the whip on top, and you're done. If you do garnish with instant coffee, be careful because I almost choked. So here I have my Dalgona. I even put little So I've seen the videos, everybody stirs it up. So I'm gonna go ahead, give it a little stir. This is really hard. Maybe I fill it up too full, but this is how they make it look, full and inviting. This is just, it doesn't want to be stirred, that's the thing. Because it's so thick and so sweet and so strong, it's overwhelming. It's aggressively assaulting me. So how can we make it better? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm glad I asked. How can you improve this, right? There's set things that you have to add in order for it to whip. Instant coffee being one of them. After enough trial and error and research and just enough mental instability to make it fun, I found an answer. The only thing that people do to make whipped coffee better is just use a higher quality powdered coffee. Now the problem with that is that you're still drinking instant coffee at the end of the day. Now I worked so you didn't have to, so you can sit at home and do nothing. The key to whipped coffee, instant coffee powder, because it's a unique formation of crystals and molecules and all that jazz that go into whipping. And the problem is you can't just get that from anything. I wanted to replace instant coffee with real coffee and have that flavor and still have it whip and have the presentation of whipped coffee, but have it taste halfway decent. Now this is not an easy thing to do. So my idea was to replace the water with coffee and to replace the coffee with some other whipping agent and leave the sugar, because we all like sugar and you can't really make it without it because the sugar is part of the buildup of the whip part. I tried everything. I tried powdered peanut butter, cornstarch, gelatin powder. Nothing really worked. And then I was like, I'm going insane. Why not try one more thing? And so I reached in the back of the cupboard and there it was. Powdered egg replacer. From my research, I knew that egg whites whipped up phenomenally into, you can make a meringue out of it. It's fine. Well, if it's powdered, it should do the same thing, right? So I did it and it worked. But the problem is it tasted weird. So I had to fix that. And the only way I could fix it was by putting less in. So then I was stuck. I had to use something else. So I thought, well, couldn't I just use normal heavy cream and whip that? It doesn't really work that way. It's not strong enough. It takes too much and your coffee gets watered down. There I was, scouring the internet for an answer. I found out about this thing called aquafaba. The juice of garbanzo beans drained and then whipped for a few minutes, and it gets to this really thick consistency, kind of like whipped cream. And so I was like, well, let's put a little of that in there and see what happens. And I did. First step is to attain some way of making a really strong cup of coffee. I used an AeroPress with a Prismo attachment from Fellow and it seemed to do the trick. A hand mixer. I was not joking about the garbanzo beans. When it comes to beans, I never play around. Go ahead and drain those mama jambas. Now on to the good tasting beans. I use 20 grams of those beans and 100 grams of water for my AeroPress. One of the big keys for whipping is to chill everything, so right after you're done brewing, go ahead and throw that in the freezer. In a bowl, whisk together 17 grams of bean juice and 7 grams of sugar. Continue scraping down the sides in order to keep everybody together. Once everything is thick and frothy, go ahead and add 6 grams of egg replacer powder. Beat to combine. Once that's all mixed up, go ahead and add 20 grams of your chilled, strong coffee. Once your coffee's in the bowl, go ahead and beat everything together until it forms into a nice whipped cream type consistency. This stuff takes a lot longer to whisk together than does a normal Dalgona, but trust me, it will get there. You may need to add a little extra sugar to make everything whip up a little bit better, and that is okay. As soon as the consistency is ready, go ahead and serve just like you would a normal whipped coffee. It's not bad. It's not incredible, but it is alright. It's good. I would say it's good. The extra coffee makes a difference when you stir it up. Maybe that's cheating, I don't know. I don't really think that there's any rules when it comes to whipped coffee. I'd prefer this over the other stuff. And that's all that I was trying to do. Try it if you want. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, you can go ahead and join the Bean Gang. We're not a real gang. We don't have any rival gangs, but we're pretty chill. So keep drinking coffee and stay cool. As you can see, my name is literally Beans.